Christmas is coming and it's already a busy time of year with all the family and parties and things happening. Adding a puppy into the mix can quickly turn that fun into chaos. This is little Stevie here, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 challenges that you may face and how you can avoid them this holiday season. I'm Instructor Steve. Welcome back to McCann Dogs. Puppies in general are pretty excited creatures, and add to that new decorations, presents, wrapping paper, and all those new people coming to your house. That excited puppy can turn into an overexcited puppy pretty darn quickly. So there's some things that you can do to help prevent that right off the bat. The first thing, of course, is make sure that you have a leash or a line. One of our house lines can make a big difference in just simply gaining control of the puppy, preventing them from running around, tearing through all those things, and possibly either ingesting something or jumping up and rehearsing, doing things that we don't really want them to do. So having a line on can make a big difference. But also having a bit of a plan in how that puppy's going to interact with the people who come over. Our family and friends are always so great, and oftentimes we get, it's okay, I love dogs, I don't mind if that puppy jumps up on me. But if your dog learns to jump up on all those new people that come in, especially at the holidays because it's happening so frequently, that can lead to a dog that thinks anytime somebody comes near them, they can learn to jump. So we're going to manage that excitement a little bit more by teaching them to do a few things instead. I might get some great treats out and teach my puppy that when people come by, that their job is just to sit. So I've got a little bit of cheese here. I might teach little Stevie to sit. Stevie's just excited in general. So practicing this before those people come over can lay that foundation. Now, there may be times when you have this cheese here and you have that line and that dog is still too excited by those people to come in. The first thing you're gonna do is make a little space from those people. Don't be right at the front door. Don't allow that dog to, again, be overexcited. Move a little bit further away. Puppies will start to associate new people coming in with sitting and getting those treats. If I have some skills on that puppy already, maybe they already know how to sit, I could go one further. I could teach my dog that lying on a bed or a mat when people come into the house is what gets them the reward. So I can just use a little bit of this cheese. I can bring them over this bed, lure them into a little sit, lure them into a down. Again, create that association that when people come by, your job is to hang out here on the bed instead of charging the door. Good job. It's great to say that you can train that puppy the entire time through the Christmas holidays while your family and friends are coming over, but it's important that you take time to visit with them as well, and you can't do that while you're training a puppy. You need to give that puppy full focus. That's where your crate can be a great tool to help also manage the dog so that you can welcome your friends and family in. You can sit down, you can open presents, you can get a drink, and that puppy can relax quietly in their crate. And then you can bring them out when you have time to focus on the puppy. So you're gonna break up that training time into bits. What do you do if your dog has the opposite reaction though? What do you do if your dog's worried about all these things coming, all these people coming into your house? Well, that's again where management can be your best friend. If my dog's worried about some big Christmas decorations, this year I might not put them up. I wanna help these young dogs learn to be confident in different situations. So I have to stop the rehearsal of them being worried. If people coming in and petting them are a little bit too much, then I also just might ask my guests to just ignore the puppy. Just let the puppy be around them. Let the puppy slowly investigate on their own when they're ready to come and say hi. If you're finding though that the puppy is still very worried about the world and the things that are going on around, take their crate, put it in a quiet room, put on some music in the background, put on the McCann Dogs music channel, and let those dogs just relax and get settled in. If you have a young puppy right now, you're probably also finding that young puppies nip and bite. That's something that we always want to address. And even if you're not experiencing that right now, you may find that with the extra added excitement of people coming in, your puppies may get overstimulated and you may experience some more nipping and biting. That's something that we always want to address in puppies. But I also want you to think about why the nipping and biting is happening. Usually most of that nipping and biting happens because we're not telling the dog what to do. They're just around. And in puppy language, that's how they interact with things. Now, we want to, every time we do that or get that nipping and biting, address it and let them know we don't want them to do that. But then I don't want to just let my puppy wander around again, because then the pup just figures out, okay, well, I'm allowed to keep doing that. So if you're getting nipping and biting, address the nipping and biting, and focus more on training that puppy. Tell them what to do instead, so you're not frustrating yourself or your puppy. But how do you get everybody who comes into your house on board with teaching the dog that nipping and biting is not allowed? And the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you are advocating for your dog and setting the ground rules for everybody. You know, it's not fair to the dog to let, that teenage nephew who comes over rough and tumble with the dog, because the dog's not really biting. but that's also teaching the puppy that it's okay to bite sometimes. And when we do that with puppies, we confuse them. We don't give them good information. So if you're finding that's a bit of an issue, then you need to sort of take control of things. You might put that puppy in the crate, or you might say, hey, can you just look at my dog instead of petting them and letting them continue to nip and bite. We want to give our dogs clear and fair information so that they learn how to work in our human world. So how do you advocate for your dog when you're busy trying to make Christmas dinner? Well, that's where more management can come into play. Have that dog sleep in a crate, in a different room where things are a little bit more quiet. Have an X-Pen around where the puppy can be around, but a little bit more supervised and doesn't necessarily have free access to all of the house. Those are some tools that you can use. Have a little baby gated area. Anytime I'm gating or petting my dogs, I do want to still keep an eye on them because I want to be able to interrupt things like, because maybe they're barking or trying to climb out. Lots of puppies will do that, but it just takes away some of the interactions that we don't necessarily want to have happen all the time. It's going to really help, again, give our dogs fair and clear information. Having a house line always attached to your dog allows you to interrupt things very, very quickly. Dogs will learn pretty quickly if they hear your voice and then you step on this line and stop them from doing the thing that they're going to do, that your voice has weight. Unfortunately, without that, the puppy hears your voice, nothing happens, and they learn to ignore your voice. So that puppy house line can be a great tool for management as well. Do you or someone on your Christmas list have a puppy and you're struggling what to get them? Head on over to McCannDogs.store where we've got a great selection of toys, training aids, and even gift cards to help your training journey be much better this holiday season. There are going to be a lot of new and exciting things in your house that your puppy's going to want to explore. Trees, ornaments, decorations, presents, all those things. And it's important that we help our dogs understand that they need to ignore those as well. Some of those things could be very harmful to your dog if they were to ingest them. So supervising our puppies, making sure you have eyes on them the entire time, having that house line so you can prevent them from getting into that tree, putting up a gate or an X-Pen around the tree possibly to simply give the pup a little bit more of a safe space. But you can also use these decorations as a training opportunity. Teach them to sit near the tree. Teach them to respond to their name away from the tree. You'll find pretty quickly that dog's focus will shift from the distractions to you when you start to teach them what to do instead. Jumping up on people or things can become a real challenge over the holidays based on all the excitement that's happening, but also based on how our families interact with that puppy. I want you to think back to the day you brought that puppy home and the whole family was there. We put that little baby puppy down on the ground and we were all in the kitchen. And that puppy wandered over to somebody and put paws up on that person. And what did that person immediately do? That person picked up the puppy and said, "Oh my gosh, aren't you cute?" and hugged it and loved it and did all those things. But what did your puppy learn in that moment? Your puppy learned in that moment that putting paws on people gets that reward, gets that cuddle. And as cute as it is and as harmless as it is when these dogs are young and small, we need to think bigger picture. We need to think, what does it look like when this dog is fully grown? Maybe they're 50, 60, 70 pounds. And if that's still okay, I want you to think about, is it okay if they're fully grown and covered in mud? Would that still be okay? And the reason I sort of go through that is it's important to think about what our end goal is. What do we want the adult dog to look like? So we can very matter-of-factly help this young dog get to that point by taking away the rehearsal of jumping. So again, have a leash or a line on. Encourage your family members and friends to only pet that dog when it's got 4 paws on the ground. If paws happen to come up, just stop petting. Once paws go back on the ground, then calm hands can go back on. That can really teach that dog in a short period of time that they only get those interactions while they're standing on all fours. Consistency is key in dog training, and it's even more important since there are going to be more family members and more people involved over the holidays. So make sure somebody always has eyes on the puppy. Don't think that your sister's got the eyes on it when you were supposed to and vice versa, and all of a sudden that puppy jumps up on the coffee table and gets the Christmas ham that happened to be out. Everybody needs to be on board and everybody needs to be consistent with the pup, and then the pup will learn really, really well. How's the house training going? Are you still struggling having accidents in the house? Still trying to teach the dog that going to the bathroom outside is the right thing to do and not going to the bathroom inside is also the right thing to do? House training is one of those things that tends to go out the window at holiday time because our focus is elsewhere. It's really important that everybody has an eye for the puppy's schedule. When do they usually need to go to the bathroom? How many times a day do they usually go to the bathroom? Oftentimes because the schedule has changed, the puppy might be playing more, might be doing other things. That means you might need to be taking it out a little bit more frequently. But if you can't, and if things are busy, then again, use that crate to help manage and prevent that problem. But understand, after they've woken up, they need to go outside. After they've had a play, they need to go outside. After they've had a drink or had a meal, they need to go outside. And if you can't remember when they've done one of those things, and you also can't remember when they've gone to the bathroom last, you need to take them outside. Having a puppy is a lot of work, and having a puppy at Christmas or any holiday season is a lot of work. But it's also a lot of fun if you approach it the right way. Getting those great pictures of that puppy with the kids or the neighbors or the nephews and nieces, whoever it happens to be, can be some of the best memories that you have. So have fun with your puppy. Set them up for success. Be proactive in their training and teach them to do some really fun things. And I promise your holiday season will be a good one. I've talked about a lot of different things that you may experience over the holiday season with your puppy. And if you have a new puppy and you're struggling with their training, click that video right there to avoid some of the biggest mistakes puppy owners make in their training. On that note, I'm Instructor Steve. This is Little Stevie. Happy holidays, everyone.